heard you talk to a lot of Russian elite, and in your opinion, because a few years ago Russian relationships with the West were going in different direction, and that sort of change, was it partially because that's not beneficial for the Russian elite? I mean, for their personal interests rather than for the country's interests?
That's a big question. There are elites who keep their money in the West, their kids study in the West, and they're interested in good relations with the West. But there are also elites who earn lots of money when it comes to bad relations with the US or West, especially those who are linked to the military-industrial complex or to various think tanks funded by Kremlin, etc., etc. Media, for instance, who are also funded by Kremlin. These are players, actors who do benefit. So that's an issue of research and look how they really influence the relationship between the US and Russia. So,
what part the West plays in that relationship? I mean, it's both ways, right?
It both ways. When we talk about Kremlin, for instance, we always consider Kremlin, Putin, and controlling everything. But that is not the case. Within Kremlin, there are many clans. You remember Churchill's bulldog under carpet? That is still very much alive in case of Russia. And all these clans in Russia, they call it bashnyas, towers, Kremlin towers. They're all in fight with each other. So I'm sure that influences the relationship. When one of them who controls the energy would like to have a deal with one company, other might have not been happy. And the same in United States. For instance, Dick Cheney, who has been one of the biggest players around the Caspian oil, was definitely not in favor of good relations with Russia, who would be definitely willing Russia's influence to be as less as possible in that region, so that he, as an oligarch basically, who earned billions during the Iraq War, could do the same in Caspian region.
And in your opinion, what's the forecast, like the best case scenario and the worst case scenario?
I hate talking about future, because we never get it right. But there is something I would like to mention about Putin. Putin is often portrayed as a nationalist, sometimes mad, but empirical research during the 15 years shows that Putin is actually a very pragmatic, a very clever, of course, and very someone who considers future, someone who would never do things that would hurt him and his clique. So in that sense, I don't think that bad relations with the West is in particular in favor of him and Russia. So that gives us a hope that relations may go into better direction.